Hi friends, my name is Teresa and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be posting my very first video here on YouTube. I decided to start YouTube because I am very passionate about personal finance and becoming debt free. We are here to support each other. I'm looking forward to having some accountability buddies and forming community here on YouTube. So please be sure to subscribe to my channel so we can support each other on this debt-free journey and with our financial goals. My focus is to spread some positive vibes. Yes, spirit fingers. This is a no judgment free zone. I started my debt-free journey probably around the end of 2019, but I got really serious in the beginning of 2020, and I have made some mistakes along the way. So I am not here to judge. I am just here to show you that you can get off track and go right back on it and continue paying off that debt and reach your financial goals. So I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a 30-year-old Latina living in New York City. Pause. Yes, I know it is a very expensive city. I work for higher education as an associate director in student financials, and I live in a junior 2-bedroom apartment with my boyfriend and puppy. Without any hesitation, we're just going to hop right into the numbers. This is a realistic debt-free journey. So I'm only using my 9-to-5 income to pay off this debt. I don't have any side hustles. No shade to anyone who uses side hustles. Great. I wish I could. I probably could, but honestly, for my mental health, again, I'm all about positive vibes. Personally, for my mental health, I could not pick up another job. For me, I would rather put all of my energy into my 9-to-5 and really leverage that to pay off my debt. I will be focusing on paying off a lot of debt in October. So pretty much restarting my debt payoff. So this is me sitting down and coming up with a plan and actually taking a look at what my numbers are looking like. If I'm being completely transparent, end of June to the end of September, I didn't really focus on debt or budgeting. My budget was pretty auto, and also my boyfriend and I moved in April. Now it is time for me to hop right back into my debt-free journey. I have acquired some debt, but again, I want to get into the numbers. I'm pretty proud of myself for everything that I did in 2020. 2021 is a different story. Let's look at the numbers. Debt avalanche just means you focus on the highest interest rate debt first and pay that off. Or debt snowball means you focus on the lowest balance debt and you pay that off. And for me, debt snowball just worked for, again, my mental health is very important for me, and it allowed me to have those small wins. With debt avalanche, you're paying a lot of a debt, and that could take a very long time because you're focusing on the one with the highest interest rate. So it may take you a few, maybe even a year to see any progress. And I would rather just start paying off the smaller accounts sooner because that keeps me motivated. Again, everyone is different, but that's just what I preferred. Going into 2021, consumer debt only, which is just credit card debt. I had a Capital One credit card. And that balance was pretty much maxed out. I want to put that it was 10,000. The reason I don't know exactly is because I actually did a balance transfer for this Capital One credit card back in July. The reason I did a balance transfer was because I felt like I was making extra payments on my Capital One, and again, because of the high interest rate, it was going nowhere. I was paying $315 a month, and that $10,000 just kept trickling down. So I'm gonna put it at 10,000 because when I did the balance transfer, it was pretty much with the fees I was pretty much back at the $10,000. So the next thing I'll be focusing on is my Chase freedom. I will be very eager to pay this off. And then a few things have occurred since pretty much February that made me have to kind of go into debt. And I know that everyone's probably thinking, well, you didn't have to go into debt. But for me, I didn't have enough of an emergency fund for everything that kind of transpired. As I mentioned previously, I live in New York City, and New York City is very expensive. And sometimes when you're with apartment management companies, they're not the best. It could be a hit or a miss. 6 or 5 months into the pandemic, they started doing construction on the building. We didn't know how extensive the construction was going to be until we started getting woken up at 7:30 in the morning due to drilling and construction. So that was really challenging in itself. And then on top of that, in July of 2020, there was a major leak in our apartment lines, and the building and management company said that they fixed it, but obviously they didn't, because we never had mold in our bathroom before up until this major leak happened. And anytime we complained about it, they would just really come, spray paint it a little bit. I don't even know what the spray paint was for, then paint it and act like nothing would happen. And then after a month or 6 weeks, we would have mold reappearing. And that for me was kind of like it. I had enough already. So long story short, and I know I just kind of rambled, but we decided to move out of that apartment unit. And in my lengthy email that I wrote, I explained all of our frustrations. I asked to speak to the compensation manager and see if our rent could be lowered or if we could receive any compensation for the inconveniences. Nobody got back to me. So we ended up moving out. We moved out at the end of April, and we knew it was going to be a huge risk. My boyfriend and I, we were planning to move out of that apartment anyway. We were pretty much on a month-to-month lease at this point, so we could move out at any point as long as we gave 30 days notice. And our goal was to move out in September. And I know we could have stayed there until September 2021, but my health and my mental health is very important to me. I didn't realize how difficult it was to breathe while living in that apartment that had a lot of mold. So again, I'm not trying to use our situation that occurred as an excuse of why we have debt. I'm just trying to explain that things happen. Again, there's no judgments here, positive vibes only with the spare fingers. So I get it. I understand completely that things happen, and life happens. And there's other things that have occurred since us moving out that have also kind of added to our debt. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I'm just going to put right now where my Chase Freedom card is at. So the balance currently is $1,901 with 81 cents. And so my minimum payment for that is $40. Right now, I'm not giving any extra payments to it. So I'm going to just leave the rest of the cells blank for now and move on to my Chase Sapphire. So I applied for this credit card right around my 30th birthday, because at that time I already knew that we were planning on moving. I only had saved up our security deposit and our first month's rent and just a little bit of extra money for moving costs. So we didn't have anything saved up for furniture, anything like that. Now that I have my Chase Sapphire, my boyfriend and I pretty much use this credit card for any apartment needs. So the total that we have right now, and this is gonna pain me, but again, no judgment. I don't want anyone here to, be trolled or anything like that. It truly does happen. So the balance now is $7,209.26. So yeah, it's pretty steep. The minimum payment is $201. I know for sure that the Chase Freedom will be paid off by the end of the year. Chase Sapphire, we're gonna have to do some playing around with my budget numbers. I definitely not by the end of the year. I'm hoping by March of next year the Chase Sapphire will be paid off. So now I'm going to talk about the two other credit cards, or two other debt accounts, but they don't have interest on them right now. So the first one is the Wells Fargo, and this is our couch. So again, we know that this has no interest on it. So right now we're just making the minimum payments of $57. We have already made an agreement that when we file our taxes, my boyfriend and I will be splitting whatever balance is left. So that will probably be again in February or March. I'm not concerned about this again because it has 0 interest rate. We're just making the minimum payments. If we can pay it off sooner, great. If not, again, our goal is to pay it off when we file our taxes next year. And then the last one is my Bank of America. Now this card again was a huge blessing for me to have been able to open because it allowed me to do the balance transfer from Capital One. Let me write this a little bit neater. So the balance currently is $9,479.96. So normally if I didn't have all of this additional debt, I would just be solely focusing on this Bank of America because I did the balance transfer. The minimum payments is $100. It's currently interest free until October of 2022. This is why I'm so anxious to pay off the Chase Freedom, the Chase Sapphire, and Wells Fargo, because this promotion ends in October 2022, which is almost a year from now, and I want to try to at least pay off half of this debt before then, so that way when the interest does kick in, it's not too much. So again, this is a balance transfer from Capital One. By the time all of the fees, because there are fees associated to the balance transfer, it was close to $10,000. I did the balance transfer in July. So for 2 months now, I've actually been able to pay off a little over or a little less than $600. And that means a lot for me personally, because when I was paying Capital One, this wasn't going anywhere and it was getting really frustrating. So I have to refocus, do my plan for the rest of 2021 and really pay off the Chase Freedom definitely by the end of 2021. Chase Sapphire, again, my target hopefully is March. Wells Fargo again would be March, and then Bank of America, I don't think I'll be able to pay this off before October unless a miracle happens, which I'm all down for the miracles and positive vibes. Otherwise, my goal is to at least have half of this paid. So let's add this up and see where I'm currently at. Oh, I'm taking a deep breath because this is a lot. So my total debt right now is, I'm just going to put it at the bottom here and write total debt is $20,147 with 12 cents. And this is why I love digital planning, because I wrote that way too big. And now I'm just going to resize that. So yes, that is what we're working with. So I did do a debt calculator, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. According to the debt calculator, my debt payoff consumer debt would be May of 2024. Yes, May of 2024. So that's a little bit too far for me. That's why I really want to get back into the debt-free journey and focus on that and really pay off these extra debts that I've incurred because of moving. And also there have been some situations in my family that I've had to use my credit card to cover cost. Someone that is near and dear to my heart was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. So I'm helping to kind of offset some of the bills, not a lot because they don't want to be a burden to me, but I knew that I needed to help no matter what. So I actually set up a sinking fund for that family member. So now I'll be doing payments in cash and I won't have to use my credit card. But obviously at the time it was, you know, not a random diagnosis, but it was just a very unexpected diagnosis. And in order to help, I started using my credit card. But again, now I have a sinking fund and I'm very excited for that. My sinking funds will be coming up in a video in October. So I'm excited to show you guys what my sinking funds are, because I realized a lot of the reason I was kind of overspending with these credit cards, especially the Chase Freedom and Chase Sapphire, was because I wasn't putting enough money in my sinking funds. So I've revisited my sinking funds and I've outlined them again. And I've even have, a sinking fund for takeout now, where before it was kind of just tied into our grocery budget, but that's no longer the case. We definitely needed to separate and have a takeout budget. So again, my total debt is $20,147.12. I'm going to write that here because again, I love tracking things and coloring things in, and it's a creative outlet for me. So we're going to put the start date as October 1st of 2021, because that's when I will be starting to tackle this. The end date, look, we're just going to be real here and put a question mark. You know, I will put the date that it said on the website that I used. Again, I'll leave the link down below of the website that I use, and I also previously put the screenshot of what it looked like. It said 32 months, which would be May of 2024. We are not going to we're not going to have that end date, God willing, but you know, fingers crossed. A lot of things can happen. I've learned that in life. So now I'm just going to fill in. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 spaces. So I'm going to divide my total debt by 16. And that means for every $1,000, for every $1,259.19, I would color this in. But for my purposes, again, I like small goals. I'm going to divide that by 2. And I'm essentially just going to draw a line here. So really it would be the total would have a little line like that, and it would be $629 with 60 cents that I would color in. So anytime I pay off that much, and I know it seems like a lot, there are definitely other trackers out there available for you to use. Again, this is just me and my design, something that I enjoy doing, but there are definitely many trackers that you can use to pay off your debt. Fun fact, even though I went to school for finance, my undergrad degree is with a concentration in finance. Look, they didn't set us up for all of this, if I'm just being honest. So this was definitely, a lot of this was self-taught. I come from a low income family, so, you know, investments and savings, and it was really much living paycheck to paycheck, but not anymore. We are breaking those generational curses, spreading positive vibes to everyone. And yeah, that is my debt-free plan. So again, I'll be using the Debt Snowball method, and I'm really just excited to get right back into it. I think I've done enough sulking, enough beating myself up for getting back into kind of debt after paying off these previous expenses, but we are not here to shame. We're not here to pass judgment. Life happens. I'm just more excited now to start into YouTube and really just build the community here, and, you know, share stories and be a support and have accountability buddies for others who are on a similar journey. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching my video. I am looking forward to posting and communicating with everyone. If you like what you see here, and if you want to be friends, please make sure that you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment down below on how you're doing with your money goals. I am excited for you, and I know that we can be a huge support to one another. And as always, if you would like to join the My Budget community, that's my channel. That's where you can find me on Instagram. You can see here, I started documenting my journey on Instagram, and now I'm also going to be documenting it on YouTube. So follow at My Budget on Instagram, and be sure to just subscribe here on YouTube. And until next time, I'm wishing you nothing but positive vibes. I hope you guys like my spirit fingers. I'll see you next time. Take care.